Today, I'm going to be building a colossal Oni Titan out of my Lego. And let me tell you, this creation is going to be one of the hardest and biggest MOCs that has ever hit this channel. And at the end of the video, we're going to do some amazing comparisons and an epic simulation of some iconic scenes from the show. I just hope this Oni Titan survives to the end of the video. But now, let's get to work on this colossal MOC. In Ninjago, after Garmadon is brought back, he uses his power to create a massive stone-built Titan that walks through Ninjago City, destroys buildings, and almost squishes Lloyd and Mia and crushes Dareth in the battle wagon. And the Lego set they made a couple years ago did not do it justice. We are going to make this massive. Of course, we need to start with Technic, one of the strongest ways to build with Lego. I started by figuring out where I wanted to place the legs and arms and what dimensions this needed to have. For this Titan's belly, I made a unique octagonal shape with bricks going up and ball and socket joints that I could later stick on big chunks of rock. On top of this belly, I built up the big chest area using a lot of Technic pins to make this thing incredibly strong. Now the legs and arms of this are going to be extremely heavy, so we need very strong joints to connect them to. My first attempt was putting this axle coming out of the hip with a lot of gears coming around it to make it extremely strong. But when I started building the leg, it definitely wasn't strong enough, and we needed to rip it apart and start over. This time, I got 3 AT-AT joints per leg. This will be a very strong connection, I hope. After working on the legs for a couple hours, it became very apparent to me that I needed a lot more dark gray rock pieces to be able to build this thing accurately. So as usual, I went to my computer and ordered about $70 worth of Lego pieces off Bricklink. When they showed up in the mail, I opened them up, and this is the haul I got. First, I got 100 dark gray, slope inverted 2x3. Next, we got 100 dark gray 4x4 wedge fractured polygon tops. And finally, I got 150 transparent purple 1x2 plates, and a couple other transparent purple pieces like dots, cheese wedges, and bricks. Now, we are ready to cover this thing in stone. The Oni Titan is very organic and has big rocks with purple energy in between the rocks. And to carry that into my Lego design, I started with a transparent purple outline and then built this rounded rock shape on top of it. I used 2 of these for the knees and made smaller ones up a little bit higher for the thighs. I also added olive green bricks to make it look mossy on top of these rocks. I used a lot of sideways building techniques which really strengthen these legs. I added some light gray bricks into the mix. I also built some armor plating coming down the sides and the front of his hips. I made some cool dark green designs on the plating, and once I was done, clicked them on using Technic. Now that the legs were mainly done, it was time to move on to the feet. And if I didn't get the feet right, this whole thing would be very unstable and very easy to fall over. I started by using 4 AT-AT joints per ankle joint. And then I built a massively durable Technic structure. For the toes, I used 3 of these big rock pieces, added some purple highlights around, and used these giant rock pieces for the sides of the feet. This Titan seriously has some massive sneakers on. Now that we have the legs done, this thing looks a little bit strange and seriously needs to do some workouts to get the gains. I built some rock structures jutting out of the hips and covered the tops with moss. I added in some sand green and lime green pieces to make the colors pop. I made some giant chunks of rock with transparent purple fusing in between them and clicked them onto the ball and socket joints. I had to mess around with them for quite a while to make all these chunks of rocks fit together very seamlessly, but the end result looks very good. For the big chest segments, I used 2 of these transparent purple waterfall pieces. I built up around them using a lot of inverted curved slopes. I added these giant olive green disc pieces for some more moss, and then built another rock segment going up even further. I made 2 of these rock pieces and stuck them onto the chest. Now we need a segment going up the middle. We decided that this thing needs a heart. Ta-da! I got a transparent glass window frame and added a couple variants of purples and blue. Then I built some more dark gray and light gray rock around it, and finally topped it off with some more foliage. Now this Titan is looking seriously swole. The head of this Oni Titan was going to be a challenge. I got one of these massive gear turntables and added some smaller gears for friction on the side. Now this head will be able to swivel back and forth. The hat was going to be pretty massive. In the show, this Oni Titan has almost a Sensei Wu looking hat. So it's basically a big disc that I have to make. And I had these big dark gray quarter circle pieces I used for the fin of my UCS Garmin Mecha Man. But I only had 2 and I needed 4 for this one. So I ordered 2 more and was able to make this very cool looking hat. I added some rock pieces on the top and stuck it on the head. But once I was done looking at this mech, you can definitely tell the neck is way too far up and needs to be sunk down into the body, which was going to be a challenge because I built this thing so strong. But after a lot of finicking with it, I was able to lower the head down into the body. It has a gaping purple mouth, which I made by using these tall transparent purple pieces. I used transparent purple inverted round tiles in front of white elements to make them pop a little bit more. I also used bananas for the eyebrows and gray sausages around the nose. This head honestly looks pretty fantastic. For the arms, I got 4 clip joints and lined them up. Then I stuck a Technic bracket to that and built out a strong structure using 3 80/80 joints. I built arms similar to the legs with transparent purple, light gray and dark gray pieces dispersed throughout, but the final look is epic. And for the shoulders, I used these flat 3x3 slope pieces. Now the hands for this thing have to be about the size of my hands because they are massive. For the hands, I started with a 10x10 plate and built up from there. I added 4 Technic ball and socket joints along the front for fingers, and on the top, placed a big light gray rock. The fingers are kind of big and chubby, but they kind of have to be for the size of this MOC. After satisfyingly clicking them all on, this hand was actually about the same size as mine, and I could really shake the Oni Titan's hand. Then I just had to build a whole nother one, and this right here is as many pieces as just the hand has. This thing has a lot of pieces. I added some big rock pieces to the shoulders to finish it off a bit more. On the right arm, I built out a big tree with green leaves to represent the one from the show. And now all I had to do was build up the back. I got a bunch of my remaining big rock pieces and started fitting them together in a unique way. I also built a walkway going all the way up to the back so the minifigure can jump all the way up to the shoulders. After adding on the last couple details, this Oni Titan was complete and it looks majestic. It weighs approximately 10 pounds and is about 26 inches tall and 15 inches from shoulder to shoulder. The transparent purple really contrasts the dark and light gray very well, and I love the highlights of sand green dispersed throughout it. But to make this thing look even more majestic, we're going to compare it to the original one. This Oni Titan is definitely nothing special, and actually seeing it in person makes me see how small it really is. And compared to the Oni Titan, wow. Here it is standing right next to the Oni Titan. It literally looks like the Oni Titan had a child. And it's like a toddler, barely able to walk. Here is the arm right next to the actual Oni Titan arm. Here's the head right next to the Oni Titan head. Like, this is absolutely hilarious. And the tree is also way smaller than my tree. This small Oni Titan can literally sit on the head. Now to give you a couple more things to scale this Oni Titan with, this is the Oni Titan by the wheel of a car. Here the Oni Titan is beside Meowthra, which I really don't think could take it down. Here the Oni Titan is right beside the original Ninjago city, which is honestly pretty big, but the Oni Titan could literally tear it apart. Here the Oni Titan is standing beside me, looking like my child or something. No. That's definitely not. I don't read him lullabies. I don't sing him to bed at night. I don't. Why would I do that? That'd be weird. And here the Oni Titan is compared to a toilet, which I'm sure all of you were wondering what that was like. You could drink out of it. No. Now it's time to simulate some epic recreations of what happens in the show, starting with the destruction of the city. We built up a bunch of Lego buildings and may or may not pour our heart and soul into them. Some of these honestly look pretty cool. Now we have to set them up on the table, grab the Oni Titan, and he can just throw them around, destroying the city of Ninjago. People are screaming, Garmadon is laughing, and I am crying seeing my beautiful city get destroyed. The Oni Titan has truly conquered Ninjago. For the second simulation, this is where the Oni Titan almost crushes the battle wagon, and I want to recreate this. So I built up the battle wagon MOC my brother Jonathan built last year. You can check the video out right up here. This battle wagon is very strong. I placed Nia in the cockpit and Dareth, Lloyd, and Skylar in deck. Now the Resistance can drive through Ninjago City. But wait, what is that coming? They hear a stopping sound, and all of a sudden their battle wagon comes to a stop as the Oni Titan puts his foot down on it, almost crushing this battle wagon. Oh no. Oh my goodness. It actually, okay, Lloyd, Dareth, not what happens in the show. I'm sorry, but the Oni Titan is a little bit too heavy. He's got to lay off on that ramen. Ninjago City is destroyed. Dareth and a couple ninja are smushed. But suddenly, the Firstborn appears through a portal and starts flying straight towards the Oni Titan. I remember how much work I put into this Oni Titan and hoped with all my heart that it wouldn't get destroyed, but the outcome was devastating. As the dragon hit the Oni Titan, it started falling and fell off my table and shattered into 10,000 pieces. My heart was torn in two over this precious Oni Titan. Thankfully, my brother made digital instructions before it got destroyed, so I can always rebuild it, and you can build it too if you go to brick-legends.com or to the link in the description, and you can pick up your very own digital instructions for this awesome Oni Titan MOC. And the best part is, they're half off from now until this day right here. Big thanks to my brother Anthony for making digital instructions. I cannot wait to see you in my next Brick Legends MOC. Peace out and have a great day.
Subscribe.